Welcome back. Be careful buying a Thunderbolt case just in case your drive may not be supported. So, as you know, recently Kevy got this really cool Thunderbolt case for my Mac Mini called an Indemem. Indmem. It's kind of an off Chinese brand, I guess. Actually, where is the sucker made? Actually, it doesn't even say. Indemin.com doesn't even say where it's made. But anyway, probably China, anyways. Most of our stuff usually is. Yeah, actually made in China on the box. There you go. So this is for M.2 drives, NVMe's, and it'll even run B&M key apparently. However, they do not list an incompatibility list. I'm thinking, okay, well, whatever. So with the first case I bought of this brand, I bought a Kingston KC3000, 7,000 megabit per second, PCI Express version 4, right? No problem. I mean, you're not going to see those speeds in the real world on an external enclosure, so good luck. But I do get consistent read and writes of over 2,700 megabits per second flawlessly. And that's fine. That's more than enough for anything right up to 12K footage. Anyhow, so I thought, all right, let's order another case because I have this Western Digital SN570 drive here that's sitting in a Sabrent 3.2 USB case, and it's rated for 3,500 by 3,000. And I thought, okay, well, it's Express 3 as well, so I should get relatively the same numbers, which on the reads, it actually does pretty good, right? Because it's 3,500 is the rating. I'm getting close to that 3,000 mark. And on the write speed, though, it's kind of up and down like a yo-yo. It even dropped as low as like 900. And I'm like, what the heck? So anyways, as you know, there are drives out there that do have firmware updates that may need to be done. Not all drives have firmware update capability, but some do. So I looked into that for this drive because I'm like, I really don't want to go buy another drive. And wouldn't you know it, I even got write errors. I reformatted this thing. I switched back to my original OS on my internal drive, which is Monterey to Ventura upgrade. What I'm running on this drive is actually a raw version of Ventura, so it only allows you to format APFS only. But when you go back to your other OS that started as Monterey and turns into Ventura on the upgrade, of course, you have all the formatting routines available to you. Anyways, to no avail, nothing's working. I'm not getting any kind of stability out of this thing. It's driving me nuts. So I thought, all right, let's look into this a little bit further on the website, because the only thing the website on the ad here said on this drive was 2 terabyte max. Well, it's only a 1 terabyte drive. But it does say M key, B&M key, NVMe SSD up to 2 capacity, blah, 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 blah. Now, they do say not compatible with SATA SSD, mSATA, or PCIe AHCI SSDs. So it's kind of like, this is getting interesting. Anyway, I guess I'm going to take another look at that drive. Maybe it is an AHCI. Anyway, so I took my Kingston drive out of my first case I bought, threw it into this case, okay, which is the exact same case, right? I just got this one in today. What do you know? Works absolutely flawless. No problem. Over 2,700 megabits per second, read, write, test after test after test after test, and it would not screw up. So we know that the Western Digital SN570 drive is not compatible with this case. But the thing is, they should be listing this stuff. Other companies seem to. Let's take a look at some other companies while we're at it too. One of the most popular and pushed out cases on YouTube is the Acasis. Okay, now I did think about this. The thought did cross my mind, but I figured, well, whatever. It's got to be around here somewhere, doesn't it? Acasis. Come on. I mean, there's not that many choices on here. There's not a lot of Thunderbolt cases on Amazon, that's for sure. The selection is kind of like really slim. Gotta have one here someplace. Ah, there we are, cases. 200 bones for this thing. Now, I really thought, you know what, I'm not spending $200 on a flipping case. You know, but at least here they do talk about it, and they do tell you it does not support the Samsung 970 Evo Plus or the SN 850. Okay, iPad, ADATA, okay, critical and other non-mainstream SSDs. And I'm thinking, okay, well that does leave us a lot of other drives we could do, and it does support B&M key as well as NVMe PCIe protocol. So not bad. Okay. But yeah, I just didn't really want to spend $200 when I could get the same speed capabilities out of something for $120. And it's still Thunderbolt 3, 4, USB 3.2, etc., right? So it's kind of like, I don't know, Cases needs to lower their price a bit. But at least they have some respect. They list some uncompatible stuff. Let's take a look at Oracle. Now, Oracle has this one here. Okay, this one here, 40 gigabit enclosure, because they do have it in a 40 gigabit. What do they tell us here? Not compatible with M.2 SATA SSDs. Original MacBook SSD. I don't know why they list that. PCIe AHCI SSDs. Okay. I get it. All right. So that's fine there. Don't mention anything about Samsung or Western Digital. Now that's one Oracle case style. Here's another one. Also 40 gigabit. And what do they say about this one? High quality. It doesn't actually get specific. Okay, so that's fine. It doesn't have anything specific, where this one from Oracle did. What other options do we get? Not much. Conyi, whatever. See this one here, Thunderbolt 4, 3 and backwards, $214. But also you got to look at the supported speeds too, which can be a little tricky because my case, my drive is actually running far beyond what the speeds are apparently supported. But that could be because I have a 7,000 megabit per second Express 4 drive in there on a Thunderbolt 3 port. I don't know, but I'm actually getting well above, so I'm happy. Not compatible with Thunderbolt 1 and 2 port. Duh, no kidding. Yeah, it doesn't list any brands that it has issues with. Does not support M.2 SATA SSDs. This product does not contain SSDs. No, really? But it does go up to 8 terabyte, which they say here. But here they say 4 terabyte. We're not sure which one it is. And that's a tricky one too. Because my case, a guy put a complaint on of two things. Not toolless. Well, it does come with the tool, so duh, you don't have to supply your own. But either way, he figured 100% no tools needed or required or comes with, blah, blah, blah. But the other thing was he thought it said 8 terabyte, and there's nowhere on that ad on Amazon.ca at least that says 8 terabyte. It does specifically say 2 terabyte max. So you'll want to know how many terabytes your case is going to support too that you're buying so that you don't buy the wrong case. Here's one by Endcamax, $199. Only for NVMe, M.2 SSD, B&M key is supported, as well as your straight out M key. Doesn't say anything about brands that aren't supported. Read speeds up to 2505 and write speeds up to 2454. Like some cases will have a bit better speed ratings than others. But like I said, you got to really watch, like you got to read these ads. Here's another one for $150. And it's been tested with a 970 Evo Plus. So it's fine with that drive. This is for Thunderbolt 3. So it'll work in a Thunderbolt 4 port, but it's Thunderbolt 3. So, oh, okay, down here it says supports 3 and 4. Backwards compatible to USB 3 and so on. Portable storage. Doesn't list anything that it's technically not compatible with. So, you know, again, really look for Sabrent. There's another one being pushed all over YouTube. I am not a huge fan of the Sabrent Thunderbolt cases, but I do have a Sabrent 3.2 case that I happen to like. It works. But these only support speeds of up to 1600 megabits per second. And it's like, I'm getting like 27 and change out of my Indomin or whatever for the exact same price. I'm getting over 2700. This thing is only supporting 1600. That's bad. That's like pathetic. I wouldn't give you a nickel for that case. I don't care if it's toolless and cute. This one, is this the same thing from Oracle? Yeah, it does have that AHCI. You know, I really have to honestly take a look at this. Untitled. Yeah, that's my drive. Trash can, that one. Let's take a look at my Western Digital. It's got me curious as heck now. This will tell us quite a lot, actually. And out comes the magnifying glass, if we can find the darn thing. There it is. Should say right on the drive. NVMe, SSD, solid state drive. No, doesn't actually say anything about that. Backside, Western Digital. Like, this drive should have worked, but it just doesn't like the case. .8 amps, 3.3 volts. It doesn't say anything about being an HCHI drive anywhere on here. Nope. Not a darn thing. Wouldn't you know? I guess I'll have to look up Western Digital's website for full drive specs. Because you would think they'd list it on here, but apparently that's not the case. Anyways. At least I know that there's no problem with my drive itself. So that at least makes me feel better. It just that it definitely has issues being in that particular case. So, and my Sabrent USB 3.2 case has no problem. Alright, so we can actually plug this back into the computer. Okay, so anyway, guys, girls, that's what you got. So be very mindful before ordering any of these cases. Read capacities, read and see if there's any incompatibility issues. Look at the rated speeds, okay, and what they're going to support, you know, being Thunderbolt 3, 4, etc. It all makes a difference on how things are going to operate. And like I said, not all these cases, like I could put my KC3000 drive in any one of these other cases, and I'm willing to bet that in some of these cases, I might actually see fast speeds, where others I may see definitely slower speeds. But two cases identical should be running identical speeds, which they both work fine with the KC3000. But with the Western Digital, it's not working right. So I'm going to have to check their their website, because I did try and look for firmware updates. There's nothing. All right. And in my mind too, I mean, if a drive needs a firmware update, that's kind of like a PC needing a BIOS update from once in a while. Not a very good sign, to me anyways. But again, there's not a whole ton of these enclosures out there. Here's another one for 146 bucks. Looks kind of cool. I don't think I've seen this one yet on YouTube. B&M key, NVM straight M key is fine as well. Does not support straight out B. Well, that's kind of a no-brainer. Thunderbolt 4 enclosure, backwards compatible with USB 4, 3.2, 3.1, 3.0, 2.0. Thunderbolt 4, USB 4. See, this is another one here that doesn't really say anything about incompatibility. High compatibility, sure, but doesn't give us speed limits. It doesn't even tell us how big of a drive we can actually stick in this thing. That's kind of not cool. Surprise! It works or it doesn't. So who knows? Lightning fast. I'm looking for the write-ups because you never know. They show you the type of key systems at work. Heat dissipation. Nope. Nada, man. Doesn't even tell us how big of a drive we can stick inside the sucker. Interesting. Okay. Not too sure I would want to order that. But you never know. Might go to 8 terabyte. I don't need 8 terabyte though. But yeah, it looks like that's pretty much a lot of what we've got going on up here. There may be a couple others kicking around, but you can check Amazon yourself, Amazon.com if you're in the States, Amazon.ca for Canadians, Amazon.eu or wherever you're from, okay? But read carefully before you order. And if you still want to take a chance, I mean, hey, nothing wrong with it, you know? I mean, I bought this figuring, okay, well, it didn't say anything against my Western Digital, because that's the drive I wanted in it, but apparently Western Digital has no read issues, but it definitely has some writing problems. And what you will find, too, is writing issues that can happen. I looked it up. That could be you're using too many bus lanes, okay? So 2 drives attached to my Mac. Well, that should be fine. Each port, no problem. But either way, you know, we've got an issue because that drive even attached, the Western Digital in there attached even by itself on the back still has issues no matter what. I've got another drive here, the original one out of my PC. It actually has issues too with this case. And I can't even remember what brand it is. I have to install it into something to find out. But it came with my Asus laptop. But that drive has issues too with this case. But the KC3000 has 0 issues, and it runs smoking fast. Like, it's nice. I like it. You know, and I look at it as future-proofing too. It's still a Thunderbolt 4 case, so when I get my next new Mac someday with Thunderbolt 4 in it, well, guess what? I'm going to get a lot bigger speed increase because I'm going to be Thunderbolt 4 to Thunderbolt 4. That drive's going to kick out pretty good at that point. Probably somewhere near around 5,000 read and write. But either way you look at it, you got to really investigate this stuff. But anyways, back to the story. So, drives definitely can be an issue, okay? Using up too many lanes can also be an issue with performance for reads and writes. Firmware being out of date is another problem. And a problem with the drive itself. And I thought I had problems with the drive because I still had it in the case. I was trying to back data back up, you know, seeing what's going on. And I had errors. It wouldn't finish copying my files across. And it's like, oh, great. Now what? You know? And so anyways, turns out in the 3.2 case, it's flawless. It only runs about 850 and change, read and write, but at least it's consistent and never screws up. You know, and it reads and writes fine back and forth for data transfer. It just doesn't like this particular Thunderbolt case. So I'm going to have to find another case down the road maybe that it'll work with. In the meantime, I'm going to Best Buy tomorrow, buying another KC3000 because the sale ends on the 22nd. So if you want to get a 1 terabyte PCI Express 4 case, and that drive being 7,000 megabits per second, they are on sale for under $100 at Best Buy right now until the 22nd. So I'm going to snag another one tomorrow, and then I can solve my problem finally. And because this 3.2 Sabrent case with the drive in it, I'll just move it over to a PC as a backup drive, you know. But anyhow, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, got a lot out of it, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.